Welcome into Post Game Live, brought to you by New England Ford dealers. Patriots beat the Jets 10-3. Playoff chances go up significantly with this win, but not sure the offense is really ready for any postseason action based on today's game. Michael Holley, Tommy Curran, Ted Johnson, Matt Cassel, Amina Smith here with you, and a stale matchup all the way down to the end of the fourth quarter. Marcus Jones taking it back to the house to make the score 10-3 and really saving us from overtime for this matchup. But Holley, I'll start with you. Your biggest takeaway after watching the Patriots in this game?
Incredible game. Incredible finish. Incredible finish to a game that was back and forth. It was kind of like soccer, lots of action, not many points. But, folks, nobody ever said this had to be pretty. You needed to win this game to have a chance of doing whatever you talked about in training camp, to make the playoffs, to win the division, Ted Johnson and Tommy Curran. To do all these things, you had to beat the Jets, and they did it by any means necessary. Incredible play at the end by Marcus Jones. They're lucky they didn't call the block in the back by Mack Wilson. But just a way to finish this one off on a Sunday afternoon in Foxborough.
Patriots are 6-4. They beat the team that was ahead of them in their division. They continue to play defense. That piques my interest as to whether or not they can carry it forward. They buy themselves another week to get a really sluggish, to put it nicely, offense in line. And the game is won by a rookie who they selected this year. So whichever way you want to look at it from 30,000 feet, it's a good day for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, it's a good day because they won, clearly. But that was just a cherry on top of a pile of poo right there. I mean, that was awful to watch. I mean, aesthetically, we were kind of hoping to see improvements in the offense. There's a bye week. You're hoping to maybe see some things tweaked, that they were going to come out and be a little bit different and a little bit more flashy. And the offense was terrible in this game. The defense, to me, at the end of the day, they played well, but let's face it, the Jets' offense is putrid. That's the worst quarterback in the NFL. So, hey, it's exciting. Hey, 6-4, 2 games over 500, Matthew. But it's hard for me to get really worked up.
You don't believe it.
I know you don't believe it, but at the end of the day, that's a divisional win. You're 6-4. They won with dominant defense. Once again, you got special teams going. There were flashes of consistency offensively. Flashes, I'd say. But at the end of the day, they're feeling good about going into that locker room. If you go into the locker room after this game with a loss, it's devastating. So they have something to build off of. They've got a long way to go from the offensive standpoint, but at the end of the day, they're walking in the locker room feeling really good right now.
I want to look at those final seconds in the fourth quarter. Marcus Jones taking it back, that kickoff return all the way to the house for the touchdown to get the Patriots the win in this matchup. And Ted, I feel like we talked about this a couple of weeks ago about the fact that maybe defense and special teams is what the Patriots have to lean on if they want to get to the playoffs. Is that going to be sustainable when you see how horrible this Patriots offense looks?
Okay, I think, Amina, from now on, the Patriots opponents, they really go up in class. Okay, I mean, you got the Raiders down the road in Arizona, so that's that's debatable, but they're clearly going to have to do much more on offense to get really excited. You cannot continue. You can win some regular games against bad offenses, and the Jets have a bad offense. So, yes, you can win some regular season games with defense and special teams like they did today, but you cannot beat the better teams that you're going to face the next 7 weeks and then potentially into the playoffs.
See, wait a minute. See, Ted, that's why we talked yesterday. We talked this morning. this morning. You said to me, I'm going to take you behind the scenes.
I asked you a question.
I'm going to take you behind the scenes. Ted Johnson, at noon today, said, I'm going to trap you. I'm going to trap you. No, 1 o'clock, right, just before the game started. I'm going to trap you. He said, you think the Jets are a good team? I said, yes. Said, so if the Patriots beat the Jets, they're a good team. I said, yes. Yeah, the Jets are a good team. I said, so if the Patriots beat the Jets twice, then the Patriots are pretty good. Now you kind of
in your mind, but I never said the Jets were a good team.
Jets were good.
I never said the Jets were good. So
what are the Jets then? The Jets, a team that has just lost its first game on the road, a team that if they had won today, they'd be in first place in the AFC East, a team that has beaten Buffalo, a team that has beaten Miami. What else do you need to see?
You can't. They're very similar to what the Patriots are, which they have a great defense, and they have a good running game, and they have bad quarterback play, and they're winning ugly. So, so to me, the record for the Jets it's not a sign of that they're a good team. They're winning in ways they're overcoming a lot of their own deficiencies.
Here's what we're getting
much
stuck
like the Patriots.
We're getting stuck in the Bill Parcells. You are what your record says you are. Trapped.
And that is a fallacy. It's never been true. It was pithy. It had a level of validity to it when he said it, so everyone sucked it up like it was gospel. It's not. The Patriots are 5-4. They would not be
6-4.
Be that as it may. Yes, okay.
All right, give me my wins.
Give me my win.
So, by the normal measures we use, what's a good football team? And we would equate a good football team here in New England with one who can go in the playoffs, be a threat to get to the final game of the year. They're not really a good team.
I think that's where we're getting stuck.
Okay?
That's where you're
Right,
And that's okay.
You're getting stuck there because it's
So if they want to get to the playoffs, absolutely, it's right there. Is it a good team by our normal measures? No, it's not.
There's a level of expectation and
The
standard.
normal measure is out. We're not talking about dynasty Patriots. We're not talking about great.
So then you're asking if they have a good record, not whether they're a good team.
They're a good team.
No, you're asking whether they have a good record.
I'm asking what I'm asking. I know exactly what I'm saying, Tom.
You keep moving it around.
I'm not moving it. The goalposts are right there.
No, because you're basing it all on who they beat, not what they look like.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm telling you what I'm doing. Listen.
You're basing it on who they beat, not what they look like.
If you'll take the time to listen, and then maybe we can have a conversation.
You went through all these teams that they beat.
What I'm saying to you is there are great teams, and then there are good teams. The New England Patriots are not a great team. They used to be when Ted Johnson won 3 Super Bowls for them. They were when Tom Brady in the back end of the dynasty, 3 championships in 5 years.
Good team? No one cares about great.
They're a good team. They're a playoff team.
No, they're a team with a good record.
They're a playoff team.
They're a team with a good record. Mike, they're not a good team by conventional measures, but they're
What's
a team with a good
conventional
record.
measure? Winning games?
Well, maybe,
what's conventional measure?
Maybe punch
winning more than
touchdown
you
in
lose?
offensively.
Winning more than you lose?
So then what would it take?
Is that asking a lot?
What would it take for this
You know when you
Patriots
see it.
team, Curran? What would it take for this Patriots team to be a good team? Like when you look at them, to be a complete team.
To be a threat on all sides of the ball. Not
That is
just
such bull. That is bull.
No, it's not.
That is like everybody. 14 teams are not that. 14 teams that make the playoffs are not complete.
So every team in the playoffs is good?
Every team in the playoffs is good.
Okay.
Yes,
They're good.
Well,
they were good last year.
I don't use that measure.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you make the playoffs, you're not a good team if you make the playoffs. So who was a bad team that made the playoffs last year? Who's bad?
I don't know. You roll it out. I don't have Google on me here.
Okay.
I don't know the field.
Okay, all right.
No, I get what you're saying. There are no bad teams that make the playoffs. I do take a look at this Patriots team, and you talk about the eye test, and you're saying that, okay, maybe they're playing better than what people thought they would going into this season. Their record right now at 6-4, even though they have that record, I agree. I don't feel like they're a great team or a team that I would be really confident in. But they're doing their job out there on the field, and that's winning games.
That's the most important part. But if we're talking about great teams, you're talking about offenses that can go sustain drives, score in the red zone, be effective. Then they've got the complete package. Right now, they're playing really good defense. They're playing really good special teams. But when you think about the elite team, and really there's only one in the AFC. Right. That's the Kansas City Chiefs. Why? Because they can go score at will. And I'm telling you what, but they're not a complete team if you look at it from a dominant standpoint of the defensive side of the ball. The Kansas City Chiefs aren't dominant on the defensive side of the ball, but they can score 30 points a game. And that's the major difference. When you're talking about elite teams, it's teams that can go put up a massive amount of points and also play good defense, right? Right now, this is a good team because they've got 2 sides of the ball taken care of. They've got defense. They've got special teams. There's a lot more to be desired from the offensive standpoint. And can they get there? Can they get better? Yes, they absolutely can.
Because they're buying time with those other sides of the ball.
But that's what this league is that you have to rely on what you do well. And right now, they're playing really good defense. They're playing good special teams. They give them shots. They give themselves a shot every week to get to because of that reason.
I just need a cheat code, guys. Help me with a cheat code so I know what to do when I'm here on Thanksgiving. I don't want to work on Thanksgiving, but I have to. So I'm here with Thanksgiving with you folks. I need to know what to expect. So if they continue to win games like this at 7-4, 8-4, I'm just throwing it out there. At what point are they a good team? Is it wins? So if they keep winning games, but the offense doesn't look great, do we keep saying they're not good?
You can fling around whatever adjective. I'm answering. You can fling whatever adjective at that team that you want to. Your measure and my measure might be different. If they can go out there and sustain drives and put it in the end zone against the Minnesota Vikings, if they can force Buffalo to punt and put a representative effort forth, I'm going to say,
but Tom just said it. You got to beat their team. You got to beat better teams.
So they beat Minnesota next week like this.
No, don't even beat them. Don't even beat them.
No, I want to, because I don't believe in moral victories like you two.
I think a bad record can have a
which blows my mind. You guys were happy when they lost to the Packers. You guys are happy, sitting here happy. They won the last 3 games, and Ted Johnson, he can't even spell. He can't spell smile. I can't get a smile out of him in 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
It's been horrible, Michael.
3 weeks wins. He's unhappy. And he was all about the moral victory when they lost. I don't get it.
I think that was also because people thought at that time the Packers were better than what they are. I mean, I looked at the Packers and I knew that they were not a good team, but I think a lot of people expected the Packers to get it together later on in the season. I think that's probably what that is, Holley.
But this is the same team, the New York Jets, that just went into Buffalo just 2 weeks ago, who was the top dog in this division, and knocked them out. And they didn't just beat them. I mean, they beat them, and there weren't any questions about it. They picked off Josh Allen twice. They ran the ball for 170-something yards. They showed that week, like, hey, look, we can compete with anybody in this league. Because if the measuring stick is Kansas City and was Buffalo, who they've gone on a slide, then you have to put the New York Jets and say, hey, look, they're a good team. But right now, the New England Patriots just beat them twice in 3 weeks. So I don't know yes, go ahead, Tom. What would you like?
Tom has his hand raised.
I want to bring up the Chicago Bears corollary. If you lose to what at that time was the worst team in the league, whose only win over 7 weeks was against the Patriots in blowout fashion, if we start getting into comparatives, it starts to lose.
Of who beats who and what they were and what their team was like at that time.
I don't think I did that one time.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to him.
But
what are you basing off of, though? I mean, I'm just saying, are you basing it off a record or just what you?
Yeah. How'd it look?